Hi, I'm Chris, and welcome. In a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. George Orwell. Sometimes awakening begins not in light, but in collapse. The truth doesn't enter like a gentle breeze. It arrives like a storm that shakes everything built on false ground. It is not pretty. It is not peaceful. It is disorienting.
We all live inside our own 1984. Worlds woven from belief, habit, and image. The ego becomes our personal ministry of truth. It edits memories, it rewrites history, it builds a story about who we are, and then defends that story at all cost. But there comes a moment when the story stops working. A crack appears, and through that crack, reality rushes in.
That's when the ego begins to unravel, not as punishment, but as release. What once felt like stability now feels like loss. The old identity falls away, and we stand bare in truth.
When the old self begins to die, it does not leave quietly. It clings to our memories, our routines, our need to be right. It says, "You cannot live without me." It says, "If you let go of this, you will disappear." That voice is the ego trying to survive. But every real spiritual tradition reminds us death is not the end. It's the clearing. It is the breaking open of the shell that once protected but now confines.
It can feel like being emptied, like parts of you are dissolving. The roles you've played, the defenses you've built, the way you present yourself so people will accept you, and it feels exposed, almost like grief. But what's falling away is not life itself. What's falling away is the armor that kept you from feeling fully alive.
This is the death that awakens. The death of illusion, of separation, of false identity. And here is the part almost nobody tells you. It hurts. Not because truth is cruel, but because we have been loyal to our mask for so long that letting them fall feels like betrayal. We mourn the version of us we cannot go back to. We mourn the lie. And though it feels like loss, it is, in truth, a homecoming. The one who dies is not the soul, it is the mask.
The Hopi elders spoke of a time when a blue star would appear in the heavens, a sign that the fourth world was ending and the fifth was beginning. They said the blue star Kachina would remove its mask in the plaza, revealing truth to all who could see. The old world would fall, a new world would begin. Some people hear that prophecy and think of the sky, but you can also hear it as an inner teaching. Maybe the blue star isn't only out there. Maybe it rises inside of us. Maybe the end of the fourth world is the end of the personality we built for survival. Maybe the fifth world is what appears when we stop pretending. When the blue star arises within, the mask of the ego slips away. The world as we've known it ends, and the light of the true self begins to shine through. The Hopis speak of the blue star removing its mask to reveal truth. The ego wears such a mask. It's woven from expectations, comparisons, obedience, performance, and fear of being abandoned if we are real. Here's who I'll be so you don't leave me. That's the mask.
We build these masks to survive, to keep peace, to stay included, to be good. But as awakening deepens, the mask grows heavy. You can feel it. The way you speak starts to feel scripted. The way you smile starts to feel like a costume. The soul begins to ache for authenticity. And so one day, the mask cracks. Not in shame, but in mercy.
Each fragment that falls reveals the face beneath, unguarded, luminous, real. And here's the surprising part. When the mask dissolves, the self doesn't disappear. It becomes transparent. It stops blocking the light. You don't become no one. You become honest.
There is a silence between who we were and who we are becoming.
A silence wide enough to hold grief and grace in the same breath.
This is where the next self is born, not as an idea, not as an identity upgrade, not as a performance, but as a presence. This is where you first feel, I am still here, even without the story. In 1984, truth was treated as a crime, punishable, dangerous. But in awakening, truth is not the enemy. Truth is the path home. To tell ourselves the truth about our fears, our attachments, our illusions is a revolutionary act of consciousness. When we stop lying to ourselves, the program begins to fall apart. The collapse of self is not a downfall, it's a birth. When the mask falls, vision returns. When the story dies, truth breathes.
If the old soul falls away, who am I becoming? Don't rush to answer. Let the question open something. Let it echo in the stillness. Beyond the noise of identity, you'll find something you never lost. The one who has always been watching, waiting, and awakening. Let the blue star rise within you. Let the old world fall away in peace. The truth is what remains.
Chris and I thank you for your presence and invite you to continue this journey with us.